Every fan or follower of Drake would understand that this next statement is not from a standpoint of bias towards the rapper, but it's at the very least one of the things that you must have figured out since singling Drake out to stan. Drake is a very controversial celebrity. Yes, the Drake. Or else, how do you explain why his name is constantly in the headlines and why controversies seem to follow him about? Over the years, as the controversies sprung up, he's been sure to make the event serve as a promotional stunt. Sometimes, even bad PR is good PR, right? This is a similarity that he happens to share with Nicki Minaj, as the duo are known for propelling their careers on whatever news story came up. So he's done these things out there for the internet, which never forgets. And we just happen to want to remember some of these numerous controversies. As we move on, click on the subscribe button and turn on post notifications by clicking on the alarm icon on your screen. At the end of this video, do drop your feedback as to how quick-witted the management team has been at turning a bad spotlight into one we could never think of forgetting. Number 1. Putting up a debatable Billboard post. If there's one thing this controversy shows us, it's that sometimes a good deed might not be appreciated, even if it proves to be beneficial to the totality of a particular community. This post racked up to almost 86 million impressions in just a matter of days. The rapper had quietly bought a billboard for 28 days, but the result of this action was anything but quiet. The billboard purchased for this time was located just beside a busy expressway. This billboard, as controversial as it got, had just 3 words described: the 6, God is watching. The 6 is Drake's affectionate moniker for his beloved hometown Toronto, and this is because the main codes of the area are 416 and 647. Also, it is a known fact that the man of many names often refers to himself as 6 God. Hence, how people were quick to recognize the culprit behind the display. Many argued in favor of the rapper that he was only trying to do something nice for his hometown, in addition to announcing his upcoming album. But a couple of politicians felt the gesture was borderline outrageous, seeing as he did not check with them before mounting such a welcome billboard in the country. However, the backlash and praise, one thing was certain: he did get the attention and publicity that he sought. Number 2. That time he got an Oklahoma club shut down. In March of 2012, Drake decided to host, and it was reported that he sent a letter to the manager of Dollhouse Lounge and asked him to open the club just for him to enable him to host a private party. It is believed that everything was moving on smoothly as planned until the appearance of suspicious clouds coming from the VIP area of the club. According to the manager, Drake showed up with his entourage, and just as everyone vibed to the mood of the party, several of the employees began noticing the smell of marijuana, which they claimed originated from the VIP segment. The owner of the club also buttressed this statement by claiming the party was abruptly shut down, and shortly after this, the Oklahoma City Police showed up to restore order and helped usher people out of the club. As this went on, police officers went on ahead to arrest the club manager after giving him a ticket. However, the club manager refused to take the L for this, as he cried out asking Drake to pay for all his troubles, dollar and cent, seeing as he entered the mess as a result of the private party and was the cause of the marijuana smoked in his section. Number 3. You Knocked Me Up. An Instagram model that goes by the name Leila Lace came out publicly to fire accusations against the artist. She was sure to give a lengthy press release on social media, which was reportedly the result of Drake blocking her online and ignoring her insistent phone calls. She felt the social media platform was a good opportunity to expose the relationship between the both of them to the world. Quote, "So I guess still in this era, this is the new thing that after you tell a dude you pregnant, they stop answering their phone. One lesson I have learned out of this whole situation is to never be so naive when a guy disrespects you. Like, you don't even have to do nothing wrong to this man. It's really unbelievable how he will just feed you with lies and hurt you for no reason. Once you forgive and accept it, just know that he will continue to treat you like shit." It appeared to the public that Lace was just angry about being treated like trash because she got pregnant. She went on in the post saying, "F you, Drake. You and I know I was good to you. This is how you treat them dusty, thirsty-ass bitches that are on your D. Not the female that wasn't even checking for you. Just respect me, that's all I asked for. Respect. The BS was uncalled for. Shaking my effing head, but don't worry, I'ma make sure I make a field day out of your effing ass." Number 4. He used his ex-girlfriend's voice without her permission. In February of 2012, Drake released Marvin's Room, which quickly went viral and prompted various remixes by fellow artists. Things quickly went south when Erica Lee, a former girlfriend to Drake, sued him for excluding her from sharing co-writer royalties on the song. She filed the lawsuit on a Thursday in California federal court, claiming the two had a romantic and business partnership between early 2010 and mid-2011. During their relationship, they were said to have traded poems and lyrics and discussed joint creative projects. Drake allegedly agreed to work with Lee on Marvin's Room and split the proceeds, and Lee just had to record the song's hook as well as the opening monologue. When she hired a lawyer, Drake made threatening phone calls. "What the F is you problem?" he said to her, according to the complaint, then offering her 4 to 5% of publishing monies plus a $50,000 payout to go away. Though Drake was sure that he was going to be vindicated in the case, they both reached an agreement a year after the lawsuit was filed. Number 5. How wrong is it to be fans of younger artists though? When Drake dropped a video for When to Say When and Chicago Freestyle, people didn't take much time in noticing the lyrics and the side-eye implications. Perhaps this is kinda normal, as people are always looking to find the hidden meaning of every sentence or action. With this, they picked up a line of the song where he says, quote, "Michael Jackson shit, but the place is not for kids. Still women saying it's childish the way we live." It is believed that this line was about MJ's child molestation trial in 2003. Meanwhile, before this event, Drake was charged for texting a 14-year-old actress and a 17-year-old singer impersons of Brown and Billie Eilish respectively. The lyric then began raising a red flag for a lot of people. A Twitter user commented on this saying, "Drake really tired of these pedophile jokes," as others referenced the duo earlier, mentioning concerns why he had to bring up the late singer's issues. Another reference to Brown and Billie, once used to label Drake as a pedophile, even though they both have defended the singer in times past. In 2018, Brown wrote, "You guys are weird," via her Instagram, adding, "I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance." And Billie told Vogue that the backlash was a stupid-ass mess, which was before argued that a grown man can't be a fan of an artist. There are so many people that the internet should be more worried about. Number 6. That time with trying to trademark YOLO. Before Drake popularized the use of YOLO in 2011 with his hit album The Motto, the acronym slang was already in use by kids and young adults trying to act cool, or just before they engaged themselves in an action they would otherwise not have done and look for an escape as to why they should do it. Because you only live once, right? As popular as that slang was and is, Drake started getting the credit for popularizing the shortened form YOLO, and it became an issue when the acronym was being used for marketing without him getting a cut of the profits. He posted on his Instagram page several of YOLO hats for sale, captioning it, "Walgreens, you gotta either chill or cut the check." He called out another major retailer by posting shots of Charlie Brown's t-shirts with "Macy's, same goes for you." However, at that time, it was not completely clear how serious Drake was about Macy's and Walgreens coughing up royalties from their YOLO gear sales, nor was there any certainty as to him being the first person to use it. Number 7. The fight that led to other parties being injured. The brawl between Chris Brown and Drake is not unknown, and their infamous fight? Let's not get to that just yet. This is about the physical fight that they had in a club where other parties asides the two got injured. A model claimed that she was badly injured and had to receive 12 stitches after she was caught up in their fight, and she had plans to sue both artists for this. Lucy Pavlovsky ducked down when bottles started flying and didn't notice when her arm was gushing blood until she was making her way out of the club. At least, that's what her representing lawyer Javier Solano claimed. Solano also claimed that Lucy took a cab to the nearest hospital and got a total of 12 stitches to close up 2 cuts on her arm, along with a tetanus shot. Other people injured in the fight included Chris Brown himself, as his chin was gashed, Chris's bodyguard Big Pat, whose head was bashed, San Antonio Spurs guard Tony Parker, whose eye was cut, Ingrid Gutierrez, a 21-year-old model who was at Brown's table and suffered bruises, stitches, and trauma to her face. Number 8. Consensual sex gone wrong. After the reported consensual sex between stripper Johnny Blaze and Drake, there was a case of angry text and harassing. Johnny Blaze claimed Drake's camp threatened her after she had sex with him, and this led to an investigation by the Houston police. Johnny Blaze, probably not her real name, told police that she and Drake had sex once. She believed that after what had transpired between them, Drake believed that she was going to blab about it to the media and began angrily texting her as a result of this belief. A week from the incident, however, Blaze called a radio station and offered a confusing retraction of her original story. Quote, "I never called the police on Aubrey, Drake's real name," Blaze said. "I actually called the police because my friend came home and said some guys were looking for me. We were just supposed to be friends, and we had some disagreements. Some things were said, some threats were being made. I'm not about to bash this man and exaggerate. I did what was right as a woman and filed a police report for my safety." Number 9. His onstage intimacy with an underage. It's no news that fans love to be on stage with their favorite celebrities, and while things can get tricky, it's always up to the star to handle such a situation so as not to be painted in a bad light. Perhaps Drake didn't get this memo, as he was seriously attacked for the stunt he pulled in Denver in early 2019. While performing at the Ogden Theater, Drake, who was at the time 23, brought a young female fan on stage between songs during the concert. Bree Davies, the show's reviewer at the time for the Denver Post's music site, Reverb, wrote this of the encounter. After lubricating his audience after plenty of sweet talk, Drake finally topped himself. He handpicked a woman from the audience and brought her on stage, warning her briefly about what was about to unfold. The man, who had just moments ago flipped his tongue ever so suggestively at the crowd, was now pulling this lucky girl in close, whispering in her ear while they slow danced. The theater seethed with jealousy as Drake nibbled on her neck, kissed her forehead, and eventually kissed her lips. After sufficiently romanced, he asked her age, to which the girl replied, 17. Though the incident didn't garner negative attention at the time, the YouTube clips resurfaced during a period of intense soul-searching in the entertainment industry, particularly as it relates to sexual misconduct on the part of famous men. The age of consent for sexual activity in Colorado is 17, but Drake's comments in the video betray his ignorance of that fact. "I can't go to jail yet, man. 17? Why do you look like that?" he says at one point. "You're thick. Look at all this." And number 10, he played the victim in he and Rihanna's relationship. Drake and Rihanna were first linked in May of 2009, when Page Six reported that the pair were spotted locking lips at a Lucky Strike bowling alley in the Big Apple. However, they both denied any romance rumors and insisted they were merely platonic pals. However, in Drake's song Fireworks, he dropped major hints that there was more to the story, with lyrics including, "I could tell it wasn't love. I just thought you'd F with me. Who could have predicted Lucky Strikes would have struck with me? Now all of a sudden, there's gossip sites wanna cover me. You could have been the one, but it wasn't that serious." He would later tell the New York Times that Rihanna essentially played him and broke his heart, whining, "You know what she was doing to me? She was doing exactly what I've done to so many women throughout my life, which is to show them quality time and then disappear." I was like, wow, this feels terrible. That concludes 10 times the controversial wind blew near Drake. Don't forget to mention in the comment section controversies that you think Drake's management handled well and those they didn't. New awesome videos will be dropped soon, so make sure your post notification is on.